Mm-hmm.
All right.
Welcome back to the Boomer Backfield podcast. We are in part 3 of our 4-part series of superlatives for the 2024 season.
Let's go.
Yep.
So we are getting through that.
Let's go.
But part 4 has been postponed due to a little surprise next week.
What's going on?
We'll talk about the surprise at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
But we do have a surprise next week. So part 4 is being delayed 1 week. So this is part 3. We're going to take a week break for a surprise, and then part 4. But of course, before that, we're going to get into some OU hoops, some OU softball, some general news, and some comments, of course. So my name is Spencer.
My name is Kylan.
And my name is Colby.
And make sure to subscribe, follow, everywhere on socials, all that kind of stuff. If you're here, give us a subscription.
Let us
if
know.
you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure to just click a subscribe button.
It's a simple tippy tap.
Yeah,
Tippy tap.
and
Tippy tap.
because we want you to see all of our videos. We are, pumping out a lot of content. So,
Absolutely.
Stick around.
Let's go.
Yes.
All right. We actually just got out of watching, basically, last night, some late softball. Started out with a pretty standard win versus Cal State Northridge.
Yeah, CSUN.
CSUN.
It's very exciting. And then a really exciting game versus SDSU, which wasn't necessarily expected to be as close as it was. Goes to 2 extra innings. The
CSUN game was really interesting. So the first few innings, really nothing was getting going on offense. Wasn't really swinging the bat. Then we have a little Abby Dayton bomb to get us on the board in the 3rd. But going into the 5th, we were down 1. Going into the 5th inning, we were down 1. And then, of course, as we do in typical fashion, turned it on like crazy. And we put up 6 straight runs between 2 separate innings. Obviously, several of those coming from Ella Parker. 2 doubles in both of those innings. And Cassidy Pickering with a triple and single. So we're loading up with some runs. But, man, it's so funny. OU softball does this. They start out really slow. They take their time. And then it's like some flip just switches, and they just go crazy.
Dude, just shout out to Abby Dayton also.
Yeah.
First career at bat.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like such a dream, bro. Like I was always
good
like,
for her, man.
It's the first at bat of the season. First at bat at OU. Just go deep. It's crazy.
Should be the next Sooner legend.
Softball legend. Still shout out Ella Parker and Cassie Pickering held this lineup down last year as freshmen, and they just picked up right where they left off. It's just they're going to be the 2 girls that you just know, hey, they're coming up. They're going to be the Jocelyn Allo kind of like, it's the burrito, all these people, Kinsey Hansen, Tiara Jennings. That's just how it is. It's going to be those clutch people that hey, they're up. I'm kicking my feet up, putting my hands behind my head. Yeah. And they're just clutch gene.
I think last night was just a case of jitters. I mean, you're just knocking – I mean, you shouldn't be knocking the rust off per se, but, you're just getting into the groove of hitting. Hitting is contagious as well. So, when we caught a groove, we caught a groove. And, after going 5 innings of 1 run, then we go into – we scored, 16 runs or 17 runs in the next, 14 innings after that. Yeah. So, it just took a while to get them warmed up. I'll be interested to see what happens tonight versus the other Cal State schools. To see if maybe last night wasn't a fluke and maybe there's a little bit more parity in softball. Maybe we're on a lower level. I don't know. But I think last night, you can't just judge a team that's running on 4 straight national championships based on 1 performance.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Now to the SDSU game. What a nail biter. That was crazy. You look at the final score. If you didn't watch any of the game, you think, it's just typical OU win. No. Goes to 9 innings. And the game was back and forth pretty much the whole time. If you watch the game, they score a run, we score 1. They score 1, we score 1. It's actually a really good game. Go to extras in the 8th, and we take the lead on a squeeze bump. We take the lead. Sure enough, SDSU comes back and scores a run that next inning. So it's like, man, they're just not giving up. And then, of course, 9th inning, as OU does in OU fashion, big moments come up. Isabella Emmerling goes deep for a grand salami. Put this up 10-6, pretty much solidifies the game. We get another run by Alana Agbayani. I think I did that pretty good. Sorry if I misspelled your name. She put up another run on the board as well. So we got 11-6 with the final score. But man, dude, OU does that every single time. Every time there's a clutch moment, it has to happen. It has to happen. Kinsey Hansen hits a bomb last year. You know what I'm talking about? This year, it's Isabella Emmeline's the savior. And I guarantee you throughout the rest of the season, that's going to happen over and over and over again. We always step up in the big moments. It's so awesome to watch a team that can do that, Yeah.
I mean, hopefully they keep doing that. I mean, that's been the difference maker for softball the past 4 years. It's been the opposite for football and basketball, where the clutch moment comes and we fail. So that's really just what makes a good team a good team.
Yeah, I think.
But, I gotta ask.
Go ahead.
What's a squeeze?
So
what is a squeeze?
Happens.
Well, there's
two types.
There's two types. There's a safety squeeze. I mean, they're really pretty much the same thing. Safety squeeze and a suicide squeeze. Basically, that means there's a runner on third base, and so a suicide squeeze. Here's the difference. A suicide squeeze is the runner from third is stealing home. So no matter where the pitch is, you have to get it down. You have to get the bunt down. If it's over your head, jump up, lay it down. If it's on the ground, lay it down. Because what happens is that if the catcher catches it, it's a simple, easy swipe and tag to get him out. So a suicide squeeze is typically like a ballsy move, and you got to be ready for it. So as a hitter, in your mind, your only thought is, I have to get this down. And the great thing about a suicide squeeze is typically, no matter where you bunt it, the runner's going to score. So when you're bunting, typically you want to avoid the pitcher. If somebody's crashing, you want to avoid where they're crashing. It doesn't matter really on a suicide squeeze. A regular safety squeeze is basically they're going to come home, but they're not going until you bunt it, if that makes sense.
So a squeeze is a bunt when there's a runner on third base trying to steal home.
Trying to score.
Yes,
intentionally score.
Because you don't have to steal. Only suicide squeeze is when you're actively stealing.
Like as soon as the pitch goes, they're stealing.
But safety squeeze, if you're looking like if it gets down, I'm going.
That's the point. But the thing about a safety squeeze is you cannot go out the pitcher because they will get out most likely. So that's
never knew. Now I know.
Now you know. There's so many things I don't know every single. Trust.
There's a lot about that.
But I want to say that Sam Landry and Audrey Lowry took away all my skepticism for OU pitching. 16 Ks combined.
Lord.
I mean, granted, it went 9 innings, but still, 16 Ks between the two. And that always, amazes me in softball. Like, the fact that you can throw every single game, and then you can come out the game, and then you can re-enter. Like, in baseball, can't do that. Like, as soon as you come out the game, as a pitcher at least, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you're cooked.
And you have to rest for,
3, 4,
5 days if you're a starter.
But Sam Landry throws 107 pitches. And then she's just like, well, I bet she feels great today. She'll probably throw today. Yeah. So
because it's that natural,
arm movement.
Mode. Isn't it so crazy how just going backwards, you can throw 150 pitches, but you go frontwards and you throw 100 and your arm's hanging for 2 weeks.
It's crazy.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah. Moving on, women's hoops.
Women's hoops was crazy. It's been a
hard week.
It's been a tough week for women's hoops.
Yeah, it's been a hard week. I mean, you go to LSU.
The LSU game was brutal.
The thing is, LSU's number 6. You have it on the road. And for the most part of the game, we look like completely washed. The game was completely over. Then you look at the score, we put up 100. 100 to 107. We only lost by 7.
Dude, that game, God. They were just throwing hands at each other. Fights.
That's right. I think you were gone.
Elbows, knees. Yeah. Tackling each other, pushing each other. I was like, golly.
I love it.
And I've never seen, in 4 years of watching, OU men's basketball, I've never seen a huge, even a scuffle, really.
Yeah.
Not much of a big scuffle at all. And that LSU game, I saw more than I'd seen in 4 years combined.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, golly. And it made me want to beat them more. Because I was like, they kept, a lot of people were coming out raving beers saying, she's the aggravator of all these fights, the instigator of all these fights. But I was like, the way you're playing her, she's just using her strength as being big to, post up and do what, doing what she's coached to do to win games. And the LSU posts that were trying to guard it were getting upset because they were too small to guard her. Yeah. And they were trying to do all this stuff and pushing her. And then eventually, elbowed her in the throat at one point.
God.
And I was just like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So everyone was mad at Reagan Beers. Reagan Beers plays dirty. If you go on like SEC women's basketball pages, they're talking about Reagan Beers plays dirty. I'm like, she plays to her strength, and the people that guard her wrap her up so much that she's getting tangled. That just made me mad. And I wanted to win, and we almost came back.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. So that was a rough one. It would have been a huge win if we had gotten it.
Yeah.
And then we come home and what we lost to Kentucky.
God, Georgia Amore or whatever, she went crazy. She dropped 43.
That's great.
40 bomb?
40 bomb. 40 bomb.
At home? Again, was it at our place?
OU,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at our place.
40 bomb. I remember it was on like during the preview of the game, whoever Kentucky's coach is, I forget his name. He was like, we're working on three shot. Like there's a drill where there's all around like 3-point line, and they're just randomly throwing like balls at people, and they just have to hit it. Like you have to hit your shot, and they have to get 5 in a row, or else you start over. And they were like, we did this drill because they shot terrible the game before. Yeah. And she comes out and goes 7 for 12 from 3. And I mean, she could not miss. And during like late game, because they were trying, you play the foul game, trying to foul her. Fouled her every single time, got her to the line, and she's just bucket.
7 for 12?
I was like, wow.
What? Is that 60, 58 maybe?
It's up there. 60. I don't care what it is up there.
That's crazy.
But just silly.
From the arc?
That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy game.
Yeah. Well, we lost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
95-86.
It's honestly, it's been rough. It's really been rough.
Yeah.
We finally got a redeeming win last night versus Ole Miss. Yeah. But Ole Miss is one of those games that's like, we should be winning that game. Like, we should be winning that game.
1-10 on the road, which is
good. It's an impressive win, but it's just we should be winning that game.
Yeah.
And so, but hopefully that gets us some momentum back.
Yeah.
And we finish out strong.
Yeah,
this is definitely a team that can. I mean, if they just got their turnovers right, they would be so crazy. Reagan Beers and Peyton Vorholst are just crazy. So I think they have potential to do something in March Madness.
Yeah. The turnovers, man, it boggles my mind how you can turn the ball over so much. And if you look, if they don't turn the ball over,
they win.
What are they ranked? I mean, what's their record? They probably have 1 loss, South Carolina. I mean, when you have 23 turnovers in a game, this was a few weeks ago. I mean, you lose by what? I think they lost by 10 that night. It's like, and it's just crazy. They can turn it around. I mean, there's a lot of good things that have come out of it. So, crazy stuff.
Transition over to men's hoops.
Well, men's hoops.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
We had finally our first win that felt like good. Not just like Arkansas, but like it felt Arkansas was a good one because it was on the road, but like Vandy just felt good because it was ranked. That was the big reason. It was ranked. Yeah. And it happened in good fashion. We beat them pretty good.
30.
And
beaten by 30.
Was it 30 or is it
30? 97 to 67. We spanked them.
Yeah. The first half it was close, just like any other game. And second half we just pulled away.
Yeah. We have a tendency to do that, I feel like. Yeah. We have a tendency to start out slow, and the second half we turn it on. We did that against, was it Texas? I think it was
Texas. We know.
No,
we did come back.
Because
it was Texas. Because we left. Dude, this game didn't do it against A&M or whoever it was. Who was that at home? Was that A&M?
A&M.
No, that
A&M was the opposite.
No, that beat us at home, and we should have beat them.
A&M, we were up 18.
That's what it was. Yeah, we were up 18. But Vanderbilt was a must-needed win, and we got it. It's awesome. We talked about it a few weeks ago. There are certain games on this schedule that if we want to make March Madness, we have to win. Vanderbilt was one of them, and we did it in good fashion. So
it's crazy how good that team looks, how different it looks when they shoot well. Yeah. When their shots are going down, they look like a top 10 team in the country. When their shots are not going down, they look god awful.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. The big thing I think about the Vanderbilt game was Jeremiah Fierce, because Jeremiah Fierce, the game before Vandy, which was A&M on the road, 0 points. 0 points. And he comes into Vandy and looks like Jeremiah Fierce again. So then we go to Auburn, which number 1 team on the road, tough game, we lose. Yeah. He still looks really, really good in that game.
Yeah.
He looked like he belonged in that number one atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so has Jalen Moore's looked that way the whole year. But man, it's good to see that we have Jeremiah Fears back because he's been so inconsistent. Jalen Moore and Dayton Forsythe have been really consistent.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Fears is not, and so hopefully we're getting him in a groove. That way, when we play Tennessee tomorrow, he's in that groove because we need him. I mean, we don't win when he's not in a groove. We just don't. So
Yeah, I mean, going back to that Vandy game, he shot like 73% in the second half, which is insane. Which I mean, that leads to that. What I think they won it was like a 23-0 run. At one point during the game, like that's absurd.
Crazy.
Like that is absurd to score 23 straight points without them scoring not one. That's like insane. But I mean, I think honestly, I've got to go brag about Dayton Forsythe. I mean, Oklahoma kid, so I think we all have some more love for him. But like, it's nuts. Having a player that can just come in and boom immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll use the Sparky thing, the spark plug for the team. That is like what this team needs because it looks like they're asleep sometimes against Texas. Jalen Moore said himself, lackadaisical. Like that's absurd to have that at the Division I level versus a rival. But now you have this guy that when he comes in, it's 100% effort, 100% just go. Yeah. And he's a leading scorer for OU versus Auburn. Put up 13. Jalen Moore is next with 11. Yeah. Like you're telling me he's not. I mean, I get the fear. Like I get Jeremiah Fears. I think he is extremely. Is he a better player? Yes, but there's something about that effort and like that.
I swear.
Hey, I'm coming off the bench. I got to get mine, but I'm also going to help the team. It's just it's a recipe for success.
I swear, every time he checks in, our lead or our deficit goes down, or our lead goes up. Like his plus minus has got to be
every time.
Yeah. Every time he
makes
a positive difference in the score. I swear, and it's not directly. Usually it's just by effort, hustle down the court,
go get a loose ball, something.
Every time.
The black eye thing
that was crazy,
so tough. And when he played with the scratch, first off, the way he got it, fighting for the ball, that's Dayton Forsythe for you. Gets a scratch on his eye. Next game, he comes in with a big black eye, a big shiner, a big old shiner,
like they used to
and
say,
he just plays through it. It was just so tough. It's just like the black eye was so symbolic of like how he plays. It was just so tough, honestly.
I want him to be a starter, man.
I think he could. I think he really could be. It's tough because it's like Jeremiah freaking Fears.
Should move him like Kobe Elvis spot or something. I don't know.
But it's just like the energy that he brings. You feel it, and everybody.
But I almost kind of like it off the bench though. Like it just something happens when it's like,
It's spark.
It's literally a spark.
Spark off the bench.
But
I love it. Yeah, tomorrow's a really big game. Number 4 at home, Tennessee. If we were not leaving Colorado today, we would 100% be at this game
easily.
So huge game for us. I mean, and I'm gonna make a statement here. If we beat Tennessee tomorrow, I'm convinced that our March spot is solidified. Obviously, we will still need to win the games that we need to win, but I believe that if we beat Tennessee, we will be 100% in March. So that is my thought.
Definitely seems like OU is like, okay, going down the schedule, we need all the games that we should win.
Yes.
All the unranked wins. And we also, it feels like what would really push us over the edge is one
big win,
crazy big win. Yeah. Like our Alabama win a couple of years ago. Something like that would really just push us over the edge this year, more than any other year, really, honestly. I feel like, our record is good. We just need a win. A Q1 win is what they call it.
Yeah.
It's just a top 10 team. That's actually wow, they did that.
Yeah.
Would be a huge one. What I think would make a big difference is the crowd, man. And I'm really worried about what the crowd's going to look like tomorrow. Allegedly, we're striping the LNC.
Allegedly.
I don't think there's any fan base worse at striping a stadium than the OU fan base.
OU basketball in particular.
OU football is pretty bad at it too. We are so bad at 30 people showing up in a red shirt in the white section in football. When you go to Tennessee, the checkered, there's not a single orange shirt in the white section.
Yeah.
They get booted.
Yeah. OU football, there's so many people not doing it. It's just our fan base is just not good at that. But I hope the crowd tomorrow is big because that's the difference. I remember I was watching the Auburn game, and the announcer was literally like cooking us, like saying like, these OU kids, it's a shame for them because they go to these road environments everywhere they go, and the road environment's crazy. But when they go home, they don't have that environment for themselves.
Yeah.
So they have the disadvantage, but they don't have the advantage.
Yeah.
When it comes to playing away games and home games.
Yeah.
So hopefully something.
I'll disagree. Because you know what? Every time we show up, what happens at basketball games? Every time that big crowd comes in, I ain't never seen a win.
The only time was Bama.
I wasn't even. I wasn't there because I ain't never seen a win.
Here's my thing. You know who could say that? Nebraska. And they still show up.
That's fair.
They
That's
still
fair.
show up.
That's
They
fair.
still
That's
show
fair.
up.
But
They
I'm
still
saying
show
I'm
up.
convinced that low
Texas
key
A&M.
OU plays better. When there's when the people start leaving the Texas game, what happened? They start playing better. I'm just convinced.
People
But hey,
in Tennessee football.
obviously the big crowd and big environment, I think it does help to that point, but we've just been unlucky in the 3 games that we've had a big crowd.
I was in the sauna just the other day, and these 2 guys came in, and the guy was saying, like, I'm not going to a game until Porter Moser actually puts a team that's real on the court. And I was like, dude, I understand where you're coming from.
But you gotta.
But if you said that in front of a Nebraska fan who has been, hasn't saw a winning season since they've been alive, but they still show up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand it because I felt that way before. I have left the game thinking, I'm not coming back here. I'm not coming back here. I hate this team. But, like, you have to recognize, like, if you have that mindset, you're just, like, that's just creating such a bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to do anything good for us.
Well, plus, it's just like you got to be a fan of your school. You know, like, look, there's several times where I'm just like, I hate this team. I hate watching, particularly during football season. I still went to every single game. Me and Kylan, I will tell you right now, we did not want to go to LSU. We did not want to make that 9-hour drive to Baton Rouge to watch us most likely get spanked. And we did it anyways, you know, because you care about OU. And I don't like the fans that are just like, I'm not, and typically, I'm going to be honest, it's frat guys.
Yeah.
And they're always like, bro, I'm not going to go watch this game if we're not good. Like, why would I go watch it? It's like, just go because it's fun. Like, because you're a student,
That's
you know?
fair.
Like, my thing is like when I was at OU, I transferred here my junior year. And a big thing for me was I'm going to go to every event that I possibly can because I'm only a student for 4 years. And in that case, I was only a student at OU for 2 more years. And so I'm like, I want to make the most of my college experience and not do it because it's cool. Oh, I'm going to be cool and not go because they're not. It's like, that's not a flex. Like, you're going to look back in 10 years and regret that you didn't do it. So I'm always a big advocate for go to every game you can because you'll miss it when you get older. So
yeah, I agree.
Anyways,
all right, let's move on. We got our week 3.
Oh, series 3.
Yep, week 3 of the series, the superlative series. And we are going to get into some more senior superlatives.
Let's get into it.
The first one up for today is the position group with the most potential.
Yeah, that's good.
How much you take us off? Get us going.
I put 2 down just in case I didn't go first, but since I went first, I'm just going to say my main one. I'll go with running backs.
Okay.
Go with running backs. Going running backs.
Okay.
I think looking at it from the top down based on that grade, you're going to get Javonte Barnes back, which he'll be a senior. Right? I think he's he'll be a senior. That's crazy. You have Sawchuk. He'll be a senior. And granted, Sawchuk didn't have the great year, but he's played football here at OU for this will be his 4th year.
Yeah.
So
the Cheez-It Bowl.
You can pick his brain. He knows something.
Yeah.
Because he's had games where he's gone out and went crazy.
Yeah.
And then you see the Taylor Tatum, the X, and then incoming running backs, whoever we have coming in. I just think there's a lot of experience mixed with a lot of talent in that room.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you put those things together, you get experienced guys talking to the guys that are talented. The talented guys who are younger, giving some pointers, honestly, to those seniors who have the experience. And if you get 4 running backs with valuable experience and decent talent, that's a deep room. So I just think, going forward into next year, I'm excited to see that room and what they did because we saw some flashes of it this year.
Yeah. My honorable mention was running backs because I agree. Like, I think all 4 of those running backs in some world could be NFL running backs.
Yeah.
Gavin Sawchuk with his speed. Javonte Barnes is a really good bounce back.
Yeah.
I think both of those could be NFL backs if things had changed, and maybe they can change it in their last year. And then X and Taylor Tatum, I totally see it from them.
Yeah.
Definitely NFL.
So,
backs.
yeah, that was definitely an honorable mention for me. My real answer, though, is the linebacker group.
That's
It's
good.
the easy pickings one, in my opinion, because it's a Brent Venables team who is a linebacker coach. But Sammy Omosigo, Kip Lewis, Kendall Dobie's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, I put him in there.
But we got some transfers in at linebacker. There's just a lot going on there. Young, old, just turning up. Like, I think this could be a breakout season for Sammy Omosigo. I think this could be a breakout season for Kobe McKenzie. There's just so much that could get tapped into this year, especially with Danny leaving. Like, there's a big hole for somebody to fill, and I think somebody will fill it. So, definitely linebackers.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, I picked a little wild card here, but I actually believe it. I picked the offensive line.
Yep, that was my runner-up. Yep.
The reason why is because the talent there, off the charts. Ryan Foje, right?
Yep.
Michael Fasusi, Eugene Brooks, Eddie Pierre-Louis. Those are all 4 or 5-star linemen. And Eugene Brooks and Eddie Pierre-Louis are now sophomores.
Yeah.
And Ryan Foje and Fasusi are freshmen. Or Foje is a sophomore.
No, he's freshman.
Is he a freshman? No. But I'm just saying, I have a lot of hope for the O-line. I think they have the most potential because that's where the reason why I say that is because running backs and linebackers, I was considering that. The thing is, our linebackers were so good last year. The jump that the new ones would make isn't that big.
Yeah.
Same with the running backs. I mean, the running backs could be better, but I don't see them making a big jump. The O-line was they were terrible. And the jump that they can make is astronomical, in terms of how bad they were. So that's why I picked the offensive line.
I was thinking more in terms of the actual players. Like, there are players like Kobe McKenzie, for example, can go from barely playing to being the next Danny Stutzman if like that's his potential, So
and Kendall Dobie, I mean, we know what he can do, but NFL scouts don't. This could be a big year for him. So I'm excited for him.
Next up, back to the O-line. Biggest area for improvement. I would definitely say I went with blocking. So that goes for O-line, tight end, and running backs. I think all around those groups, just there's so much room for improvement there.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a chance that we could see improvement. Mostly in the O-line, I think we've got some transfers in. I'm curious to see, Bill Beanbo is not the kind of guy like DeMarco where if you're a freshman and you're the best out there and you are part of the best 5 O-linemen, you will put you out there.
Yeah.
So we could see Fasusi in his first year for sure. Yeah. I'm curious to see if that will happen, but I definitely think there's a lot that can change in the O-line. Tight end, I'm not in love with any of the transfers or the freshmen. Like, I wasn't like, none of them are 4 or 5 stars. The one thing that I'm hoping for when it comes to blocking is Devon Mitchell.
Yes.
Please,
Devon.
get in the classroom, Devon Mitchell. Please stop skipping class.
Begging.
That's public information. I don't feel bad for saying it. Get in the classroom. Take
Why is
everything.
that rascal missing class?
Take everything outside of class serious or outside of football serious.
Yeah.
Just lock in because you have the opportunity to be something. So lock in, and then running backs, man. I don't even know what could change because it's going to be the same guys. But hopefully they get better at blocking. I feel like the problem with running backs is last year was the O-line would set them up so bad.
Yep.
Usually a running back
a
running back will be blocking maybe a blitzing safety or a blitzing corner.
No, you're blocking the D tackle.
The nose tackle. Like, it would just be so bad. So I feel for them, but
yeah. I can go ahead. My biggest area for improvement, offensive line.
Yep.
So my group of the most potential is the O-line. Biggest area for improvement, offensive line. It just has to happen. And the reason is that we have the best transfer quarterback in the country. In my opinion, probably a top 5 quarterback in the country with John Mateer. and he's not going to be able to do jack squat if we don't have a good line, and particularly a line that is significantly better than last year. We can't go up from last year's line. We can't just go up one step. We need to go up 3 or 4 steps just for John Mateer to be able to do what he can do. Because I believe that if you give John Mateer a decent O-line, just a decent line, he's going to make some magic happen because he's a great quarterback. But if you don't, it's going to be a same situation. And I'm not comparing Jackson Arnold to John Mateer because I think Jackson Arnold is buns, and I've said that several times. But it will be another Jackson Arnold situation where John Mateer has a lot of talent and he's good. But if he as soon as he catches the ball, if he's on the run, what can he do? Jackson Arnold's different because he just buns, and he had opportunities to leave and stuff like that. But what I'm getting to, though, is it has to happen. It absolutely has to happen. And if it doesn't, we're going to go 6-6 again, probably actually 5-6 because we have the hardest schedule in the country, and BV will probably lose his job. So everybody's talking about this is BV's year to keep his job. Well, if I'm BV, I'm spending the whole spring, the entire summer with the O-line group because it has to happen.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I went with tight ends.
Yeah.
I just, as a whole, our tight end play that was crazy. It's just been kind of just silly, honestly, just silly. But you get Bauer Sharp, and everyone thought this guy is going to be the next, I don't even know, like Mark Andrews-esque.
In what world?
Antonio Gates. I don't even know. Like Tony
Gates is correct.
Tony Gonzalez. I don't even know. But you get him mic'd up in, fall camp, and he's rolled up, shirt, and you're seeing
so tough.
Wow. And then it was just like, what is this? What is he doing? But still, I just think that it's kind of like the O-line you said. They were so bad this year. And I just haven't seen anything to make me think that they're going to be any better. Because the one guy who we're depending on, was he here last year? Sure was. But he couldn't get right. Yeah. So unless, Devon Mitchell, please prove me wrong. Prove us wrong and get right. Because Kennesaw State, Carson Kent, glad you're here. I hope you're a dog, but I'm just not seeing it. I don't envision myself seeing a Kent State transfer tight end being the Mark Andrews, the tight end that we're looking for. Now, I know I can't think of the guy's name right now. We got another one. I think he's from Louisiana Tech, and he is like primarily a blocking tight end. That's like what he does. So, by all means, go in there, do your thing, block everybody you see. I don't care who it is. Block BV if it comes down to it. But just the tight end room, it was just so bad, and they have to get better because it's pivotal, not just blocking, but being able to just catch the ball sometimes. Because you don't have it. We didn't have it. Bauer Sharp, sometimes you just didn't catch the ball.
He was terrible. I'm so happy he's gone. God, I can't stand watching him play football. Dude, here's the thing, though, and I hate that I have to say this all the time, but I have to. Guys that come from Kennesaw State, guys that come from Law Tech, they are there for a reason. They were there for a reason. And listen, I do believe that there are certain circumstances where you can go to a smaller school, maybe because you were overlooked, maybe this, maybe that, and you go up to OU and you have your time to shine and you take action on your opportunity. But we have not seen that at OU
since Baker Mayfield.
And
he didn't come from
Texas Tech.
He didn't come from Kennesaw State.
He's a powerful school. And I just don't know. You look at, and you can go on to say Travis Kelce, he was a Cincinnati player, but that's the only, what other case, does that happen?
Then again, like Travis Kelce didn't transfer somewhere else.
And he didn't transfer.
He was just at Cincinnati.
He was there. I'm going to try to be optimistic. And actually, as we get more into the next few weeks, talking about next season, I actually have a lot of optimism, which I will talk about. But I just don't see it with a Kennesaw State and Law Tech transfer. I hope they prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. But I'm just like, BV, what are we, like, are we broke? Like, what? You had Nate Roberts at Washington, 10 minutes away, 5-star. and he losing to Ohio State. He was 10 minutes away from the school. How do you lose him? His brother played here last year, Jake Roberts. How do you lose Nate Roberts? You know?
How do you lose Devon Mitchell when he's on your team?
How does Devon Mitchell not go to
He's
class?
6'5". How you lose him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, my thing is like, yes, Devon Mitchell, lock in, go to class. But at some point, like BV, drive to his dorm, drag him out of his room, and put him in class. Like,
His roommates with Mike. Like
Mike,
what are you doing?
hey, bro, don't wake me up. Nah, you're gonna have to get up. There's some people in JUCO. I used to never. I hated when people like, "Hey, bro, can you wake me up?" I'm like, "No, I'm not your mama. Bro. I'm not doing that." But if it's Devon Mitchell and I'm the quarterback and I need help, hey, get up, please. Come on, Devon, we gotta get up.
We got weights.
Yeah.
How are we not going to weights?
Well, I remember that every time at JUCO we make him up.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't,
We'd
we'd have to run.
You'd find a way.
Oh yeah, the best
Get
believe I did
the
it a few
saw
times.
out.
And they'd be mad at me. I do not care because I'm not running. I'm not running. We need to get somebody needs to do that to Devon Mitchell.
All right. Next up, best uniform combo of an opponent we played.
I want to start this one.
All right, go ahead.
I want to start this one.
Go ahead.
Tulane.
Yeah.
Dog. Those baby blue with the
Fire.
white helmets.
Fire.
Tulane has, I swear, bro, their uniforms are so tough.
They are.
With the shiny, like reflective green wave, it's so hard.
Yeah.
I just love Tulane's uniforms. I've always thought they were so tough. Their baseball uniforms are hard. They just got good colors too. The baby blue and the green, like that's fire.
Yeah, that's fire.
So Tulane.
Yeah.
Tulane's mine.
Mine was Tulane as well. The baby blue pants was so tough with the baby blue helmet, green wave. It's tough. It's a great look.
Mm.
I wanted to include some honorable mentions because we had a few good ones, but Tulane just like knocks out the park. It's not even close. LSU wearing the purples at home.
That's mine.
Oh,
It's tough. And, you know, we were thinking, is OU going to wear red on the road? And then, no, LSU pulls out those purples.
Yeah.
Those were tough. With the white helmet, too, I really like the look. And then this one was kind of disappointing. I just wanted to talk about it because it was kind of disappointing.
All right,
I think
what
it
you gonna
built
say?
up to it so much.
Yep, here it
And the
comes.
social media pictures were so cool. Look at these helmets we're going to be
Yep.
wearing.
Yep.
They're so cool. The Ole Miss
Little
like thing they did for our game, it didn't look good. It just didn't. Out on the field, I saw some of the equipment guys. They had a really cool hoodie that looked cool. The actual helmets themselves were just all right. I personally thought their powder blues are a lot tougher than what they wore against us. I was hoping they were going to wear powder blues because that might have made it over Tulane, honestly. But
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, Ole Misses were just kind of a letdown. I thought they'd be like the best of the year, like leading up to it. I was like, oh, these are exciting.
They wore the basic navy. It was just ugly. It wasn't. I didn't like it at all.
I picked LSU.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Those are hard.
I've always like that was like when I was a kid. Low key, I wanted to go to LSU. I don't know why, but I just like purple is such a good like. I remember TCU. I used to love TCU uniforms. I still do, but I don't know something about that white helmet. I really don't like that gold helmet. I really am not a fan. The gold just looks so old and like crayonish. Like it just I don't know. But the white, it was just so hard. I don't know why, but I think just the white helmet,
the purple,
the colored jersey, and then the white pin. It always just goes crazy for me.
Purple is so like Clemson, bro.
Yeah, those purple.
Oh,
they're just tough.
Oh.
They're just tough, and it just looks clean.
Clemson's unis are. Oh man,
They're just
purple
clean.
and orange. Yeah.
So I mean,
purple looks great.
Tulane's up there, obviously, but I think that's just Tulane. They wear that every single week, pretty much.
Washington too.
Yeah.
While we're here,
Purple's good color.
and while you're talking about white combo, we're talking about the Houston game, wearing those new alternates, wearing the throwbacks.
Yeah.
Tough.
I've never been a fan of really any alternates we wear. The Rough Rider, the Rough
Wood grain,
Bring the wood or whatever it is. Yeah.
They were all right. They were good. There were certain combos that were awful, and then there were certain combos that were okay. They're pretty good.
The all red.
All red is awful.
Ban all
Never
red.
wear that again. Never
Ban
wear that
that.
again.
Baker went crazy in that
The
game,
Unity is good. I think it's better under the lights
Yeah.
than in like a daytime, like 11 a.m. kick.
Yeah.
Like the West Virginia game, it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool.
Because they're like shiny,
yeah.
they reflect. Yeah.
But these are our best I think we've ever put out. I love these.
Dude, I second that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Unities. I'm really not. But dude, the white, the 40s ones, those were Oh,
Dude, the cleats, what they put out, like the threes, the new like threes.
Yeah,
with
it
those
was
are
the
hard.
threes.
I was
It
like,
was
come
hard.
on.
I hope we wear those every year. Those were
Those are bad
Those were
luck.
so
They're probably
sick.
banned
They might get burned.
yeah.
They might be
because
burned
that was
already.
the worst, one of the worst
That
games I've
was-
ever seen.
Yeah, it was Houston. We almost
For 16-12. I remember like after the game, we were like, so do we just burn
Burn
them?
them? Put them at the,
Yeah.
We're just picking the jerseys up, putting them in the car, like, do we
burn these
do we burn these?
or what?
yeah,
But
that's insane.
they're still back in that equipment closet. I know that they're not.
I won't be mad to
so
see him again.
I think we should. I think we should give it to them
Yeah.
because I mean, we won the game.
Yeah,
we
it's
won
true.
the game.
It's
So,
true.
I mean, they're still 1-0.
Yeah.
still 1-0. So.
Yeah. Moving along, the next one is the best stadium visited. So our favorite road game, we really only had 4 opportunities to pick from. I was between 2. I picked with the basic answer that we're probably all 3 going to pick. LSU, my pick.
Mhm.
The biggest stadium I've ever been in. It was unbelievable. There were 6 rows. 6 rows on the south end zone. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I mean, some of the rows were, 4 or 6 levels is what I'm talking about. Maybe there were 4 rows, piece, but still 6 levels. It was absolutely insane. My honorable mention was Auburn. Auburn was a lot of fun. Big old stadium. It was fun. So, yeah, LSU.
Yeah, I put LSU too. Just like, obviously, I mean, like you said, I've never been to a stadium that's that big. Like, they look – most of the time you can make out players. You can make them out, but it's like they legitimately look like ants.
Yeah.
So you're like, whoa, what's going on? But you can see – and then you look around, you can see, like, forever.
Yeah.
Like, if you just look straight ahead.
And you can see the Mississippi.
Yeah. Like, what do you see the boats, like the steamboats coming, whatever. My honorable mention
we saw one.
was Ole Miss, not so much the stadium, but what was around the stadium. Best campus we went to.
Okay. Yeah.
The campus,
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Oh,
beautiful.
man.
Beautiful.
The other stadium was a complete letdown, but
Their sound system,
their
they
sound
have
system?
the best PA, like, trolling. Every time we play, they would just blasting, and it was right in our ears. And I was like, that's funny. I don't like it. Stop, but that's funny.
Yeah.
I wish we did. I wish we would troll.
It was beautiful.
I had to go with Auburn.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Eagle was
The
so
Eagle.
cool to me, bro.
Dude.
When they let that
Stupid
Eagle go
chance,
around,
bro.
the ball-
Stupid chance.
Yeah.
Eagle, war, eagle. And I was
Eagle.
like, Eagle.
Whoa, Eagle.
Oh.
That was so stupid.
And he came out with
That
those
was-
armbands,
Gosh.
flexed. I was like,
Yeah, that was
They have awful
the cheerleader.
traditions.
The male cheerleader was coming out with
Was
armbands.
it
I was
him?
like,
Yeah,
dude,
dude.
you're not
Graceful.
hyping me up.
I never realized how cool our traditions are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. All
Yeah.
the stuff we do, the bells,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like doing the boomer sooner chant
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and forth is so tough.
What
You go to
about
other schools-
let's go? Oh,
Dude, they gotta
Yeah.
stop that.
Or-
They gotta stop that.
You know what I hated was Missouri. First down, Missouri. MIZ.
COU.
I was like, dude, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But you know what? If we went to Missouri, bro, we'd be like COU. Like we'd be going crazy. But it is so
it took
dumb.
me a while to catch on to what they were even saying. MIZ.
What did people clown us for our chants? We were at LSU and there was this one girl in front of us, and we'd say, like, somebody say boomer, we'd say student, she'd be like,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, she was trying to clown us, but like, she was doing the clowning where you're trying to impress people by clowning other people, and nobody was laughing with her. And so then me and Kylan,
No, it was. Oh, that's what she was clowning.
oh yeah,
It was like on kickoffs.
yeah.
Because I was like, we didn't do the boomer chant.
No, yeah, it was
Like,
the OU.
O.
I'm sorry, apologies. But she was like laughing at us. Like, so me and Kylan decided to go back and look at her go to make sure let her know how
she
funny
knew
she
that.
was. And yeah,
I didn't want her to feel bad.
I didn't want her to feel bad. Yeah, I wanted to laugh for her to let her know that.
But, everything will be all right.
We have the best back and forth chant when it comes to boomer sooner.
Yeah,
Orange Power at
Dude.
Oklahoma State.
stupid.
Texas Fight, not nearly as cool
No.
as
Wah, wah,
Boomer
wah.
Sooner.
Yeah.
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 We have the best one out of all those. for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
It's not
it's
even
great.
close.
Yeah.
Augustine Spence.
Last one, most exciting player to watch. I know what you're doing over there. You
What?
cut that out.
Go ahead.
Cut
Go
that
ahead.
out
Go
right
ahead.
now.
Go
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
I put Kendall Dolby.
Oh, that's cool. I'm
And-
glad.
And then I said, I wrote this down specifically, and Mike, I guess. I wrote down, I guess.
I guess.
I'll talk about Kendall Dolby because Mike isn't. I'm going to talk about Mike.
Yes.
And Mike, I guess.
Oh,
That's
my
funny.
God.
Kendall Dolby, I mean, I just love watching him because what was so crazy about Kendall Dolby is like, and this was the way that BB had him being the cheetah. Like, one play he's dropping into coverage, one play he's blitzing, one play he's hovering.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the way he did it and the way he was so fast and the way he was so aggressive, it made it feel, and maybe I don't know if this is how it felt for the opposing team, but when you were watching it, it made it feel like he was everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Because one play, he's making the deflection. And you're like, oh, there's Dolby. And then the next play, it's a sack. And you're like, that was Danny and Dolby. And the next play,
He's at running back for the other team.
Screen pass, he's hitting.
Yeah.
And it's Dolby.
Yeah.
And it's like he's just everywhere. I love watching him. I'm and Mike, I guess. And Mike, I guess. I guess he was exciting to watch. Go ahead.
It's Mike. It's Mike. Come on. No, I mean, really, honestly, I know I am a Michael Hawkins fan, but I just never knew what he was going to do. He could actually go out there, do a flip, or he could throw the ball to the phantom receiver. So it always kept me on my toes. What is Mike going to do? Or Mike might be just cool. Mike might be. I want to know Mike, bro, because he is so interesting to me, bro. Like, is he mysterious? Is he mysterious?
Oh, yes.
Like, he's mysterious, but it's like, dude, but he's like nice. Like, he's kind of nice with him.
Yeah, he seems kind.
Like, I don't know. He's like nice in that way, but then I'm like, hey, how did he hit a flip over somebody in the end zone? 2 flips.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he's one of the most exciting quarterbacks that since probably since Caleb probably that you're like, he is athletic enough to do something silly right here, but I don't know what it's going to be, and it might be bad. So that's mine. Obviously, it's Mike, but I will agree with Kendall Dolby. He's literally everywhere, and Colby, I peeked at your screen, so I would agree with yours too.
Yeah, dude, Mike, man, I hope my prayer is John Mateer goes crazy this year in NFL.
Draft. Give me Mike.
And then give me Mike, dude. I think Mike, a year under Mateer with Arbuckle, is going to feed families.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. My most exciting player to watch, man, I love him so much. Kip Lewis, dude. I'm an offensive guy. I am purely offensive guy. I hated playing defense, but God, I love watching Kip Lewis, dude. It's just the way that he loses his mind is so awesome to watch. I love guys that are crazy because I am a little crazy myself, and I love seeing it. Like, just watching Kip Lewis and I've said this before, when they're doing their warm-up lines, everybody's in the line. Kip Lewis is not in line.
No.
And the coaches do not try to bring him back in line. They just let him do his thing.
Kip.
And he's over there.
Yep.
Grab it, ripping his, just going nuts. And it's like, Kip, we got 45 minutes till kickoff. The bell's haven't even gone out. You know, I just love watching Kip Lewis. And he made probably 2 of the biggest plays of the season. The Kip 6 versus Auburn and the Kip 6 versus Bama. It was just, I just love watching him play. I just love watching Kip, man. Yeah. It's just awesome. I hope he never leaves. I hope he plays his whole career here at OU because I just love watching him play. It's awesome.
All right, that does it for this week's superlatives. We'll be back on the last part of superlatives in 2 weeks.
Yep.
As we're taking a break next week for a surprise. We're going to move into our comments on comments.
I'll roll through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
I didn't realize how long we've been going for.
It's all right. Happens.
No,
Happens.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, not terrible.
Comments. So the first one was, so DG came back to Norman this week, and he was in Norman.
Yeah.
He did.
Training with Drake Stoops, and some fans had differing opinions. So I wanted to present both sides of the debate.
Yeah.
Israel Keener from TikTok, no loyalty, no honor.
All right, Sensei.
Should he do both these?
Oh, no, that's supposed to be somebody else.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, that's
Bro switched up crazy.
Then somebody else said, glad to see he knows he will always have a spot in Norman. That was ADEC, who's actually featured multiple of those comments from TikTok.
ADEC.
So kind of different sides of the debate. Then Adrian Hill from Facebook says, Dylan can go back to Oregon and practice there, but Drake is always welcome. So again, somebody that doesn't like BG being a Norman.
Yeah.
And then randomly, this guy named Spencer Connor on Facebook.
Randomly. Spencer Connor. Okay, buddy.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Spencer Connor on Facebook, who was wearing a flat bill hat, said, "Who cares? Drake a snitch." So
Bro got his
I don't know what
Drakes.
that means. I don't know.
Wrong Drake. Wrong Drake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know. I don't know.
What did Drake Stoops do to him?
I don't know.
Drake a snitch.
Drake's a snitch.
Drake a snitch.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Dylan Gabriel training in Norman?
I have a few things. A lot of people have brought up, why is he here? My first question is, why is he here? Why were they in Norman? That was just interesting in itself. Why is Dylan Gabriel in Norman? Maybe visiting the boys. I don't know. Listen, here's the thing. DG was a quarterback here for 2 years. He led one of the greatest OU Texas comebacks in history. He always had a good head on his shoulders. Very good to Sooner Nation. Was rooting for us when he was at Oregon. And in the day and age of the transfer portal, just like I think it was Ryan Boyles said, nobody's really going to have an alma mater anymore. Unless you stay at your school for all 4 years, the chances of you doing that in the first place are significantly low.
Yep.
But I really think DG did enough here to where he can come back. He left, but I think he left for good reason. Like, he left because he knew that we would lose Jackson Arnold, and he wanted to get another year to make himself draft
if I could
eligible.
go back in time.
Which, if I could go back in time, please, God,
Stay,
DG, stay here.
please.
Jackson can leave. I'm glad he is. I'll say it again. He's fun. I'm glad he's leaving. But I think the reason why DG left was actually for, it was obviously personal reasons, but I think he was doing it to help us out too, because he could have stayed here at OU. So as much as I really didn't like watching DG as a quarterback here at OU, because I was just bummed, he's in good graces with me. I think he's always welcome in Norman.
Yeah, I would agree. Mainly you look at his Senior Bowl helmet, he puts us on the helmet. You didn't have to do that. And I know that's not a huge thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that you want to honor all 3 schools, that means that you have some type of love for every school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't some sneaky, like, you don't see Caleb Williams, he didn't wear an OU helmet at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, he's said on, like, the Amon Ra St. Brown podcast, he's like, oh, no, like, I claim USC. I don't claim OU because I claim Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
So, DG has never spoke a bad word about OU.
Yeah.
They pushed me out. He was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, and honestly, in the first place, I really don't care. If Caleb Williams came back and was practicing in the indoor, I really wouldn't care either.
Yeah.
Because, it's not going to affect – I'm not going to lose sleep because Caleb Williams is throwing dots in the Everest Training Center. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's not like he tore it down with a bulldozer. Golly, people are acting like he just committed a felony. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of dumb that people are really, upset that he was here throwing a football.
Yeah. I think in the day and age we're in, we're just going to see it a lot more, and you're just going to have to get used to it. People are going to have 2 schools they consider home at the end of their college career, and they're going to go back to another. DG also went to Mississippi State to train with Jeff Levy for a couple of days. That's just how it is now. That is just the way it is now.
Yeah.
You're going to have, 2, 3, or maybe 4 coaches that you call your coach throughout the country. And those coaches are going to move around, right? Yeah. So, I don't see anything wrong with it, especially he spent more time here than Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got boys here, meeting up with Drake to train with Drake and General Booty.
Yeah.
Shout out General Booty.
Why was he here? That's the big – why was General Booty
He's got
here?
more time here. He was here for 2 years.
Yeah, he was.
So, in theory – this is DG's, he spent a lot of time here. He spent 2 years here. So I don't really care. I don't have any problem with it. If you pull a Lincoln Riley or, and this is tough to say, but the situation with Nick Anderson was really weird. Yeah. And it's almost like there's it's kind of awkward now with him. That's a tougher situation. I don't know. I'm not obviously going to hate the player if he comes back and trains here, but or Caleb Williams, it's a little bit of a weird situation. Yeah. But DG is everything ended on great terms. So it's
good guy.
Yeah.
Moving along. Billy Bowman.
Yeah. Billy Bowman, obviously a quieter year statistically, but was just crushing it in the Senior Bowl, on the Reese Senior Bowl.
Let's go.
Maverick Eddings on TikTok commented about it and said they were too afraid to target him. The single best line you could hear as a DB. Kind of explaining why his stats didn't pop out this year.
Yeah.
And then Deerman 3, only issue with Billy B is the man is one of the most inconsistent tacklers on the Sooner defense.
Interesting.
So I really want to talk about how his statistics weren't crazy this year.
Yeah.
I never noticed a time that he just got absolutely cooked too much. I'm trying to think.
Did he against Auburn?
Nothing sticks out in my mind.
Did he against Auburn?
I remember Des Malone got cooked.
I know Des Malone did, but I thought Billy did.
Well, he got stiff armed during the Texas game.
Well, the Texas game, Billy Bowman kind of made himself look a little foolish.
He said, "Hey, we're here." All right.
Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous.
No, not with Jackson Arnold as your quarterback.
It was Mike.
It was
Jackson Arnold is on your roster.
Yeah, Mike was in fact the quarterback, and that's
Mike
why
did all he
changed
could.
his number to 3 because he scored 3 points. Versus Texas.
You're such a hater, bro.
I guess.
I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that if he was targeted more, his stats would have probably looked better. But I still think the year was maybe a little disappointing. I think I think there's a chance he would have gotten drafted higher
Last year, yeah.
That's for sure.
Last year was almost like, I don't want to say luck, but like
He
he had like 6 interceptions, like 2 pick sixes, 3 pick sixes.
That's
like there's
crazy.
some things that like are kind of out of your control. I mean,
Yeah.
being targeted, obviously you can't get a pick if you don't get targeted.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like he got outshined. Like I think RSJ outshined him this year was the problem. Neither of them played. He didn't play bad. I think somebody else just played. In that safety room, you just saw a lot more like depth, a lot of more, versatility in that safety room. So he wasn't just the main guy.
Yeah.
He played pretty much every snap, But I think there was just other people contributing to the
Which is
defense.
good.
The defense is getting better, so you're seeing other people start to shine.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think he'll probably go. I want to say third round.
Yeah.
I was thinking third round.
Third round is.
I was thinking third round.
Yeah.
That's where I think he'll go.
I mean, if he
Third
goes
round.
second, I mean, obviously he's not going first round. If he goes second round, I think that'll be like extremely good for him. But I see like third, fourth.
After that Senior Bowl, I don't know.
He went crazy, but then he got manhandled a couple times.
Did he?
So
he's a really good player.
he is.
Wherever he
He's
goes,
very good.
I think no matter what round he goes and wherever he goes, I think he'll be a starter.
Yeah.
I think he's a great football player.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's Mr. Billy B.
All right, that's gonna wrap us up for today. Do we want to talk about? Do you want to give us a little announcement?
I'll let you introduce it.
All right, Colby's gonna give us a little announcement.
So next week we have a special guest appearing on the podcast. Now this guest is a guy that I have personally known since I was 11 years old. We have played on the same teams for several years. Really close friend of mine and just a good guy. And actually a Sooner baseball legend who is now playing in the St. Louis Cardinals organization. He was drafted in the 10th round, I believe. I'll have to double check. Mr. Bryce Madron. 2 straight years, 3-hole hitter for the University of Oklahoma. If you watch OU baseball, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce is a great guy. We're super excited to have him on the podcast, and he'll be on here next week. So we're going to bring up some old pictures, talk to him a little bit, get to know him, and obviously just not talk about sports, but actually get to know him. I know him pretty well, and so it'll be fun to have him on here and for you guys to get to know Bryce because he's a really good dude and a dang good baseball player.
Perfect timing because baseball starts in a week.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to get, some information
Little
about
jump start.
little jump start into OU baseball, this is the place to do it.
Yeah.
Got a little 3-hole hitter Bryce Madron.
Mr. B Mad, he's
Yeah.
an amazing baseball player. So super excited to have him on the podcast.
Yep.
So Mr.
Yeah.
Bryce Madron next week. With that being said,
That's it for us.
that's it for today. We will be in Colorado this weekend. We wish you guys a good weekend. Please, 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 if you have it in your heart, like and subscribe to our
That
podcast.
was
I was like, bro, you about to ask for offering or what's going
Like
on?
and subscribe to your
Just a plate.
podcast. I'm asking you to tithe.
Don't say that.
A thumb click.
Do not say that, bro. Come on.
Cut it out of the pod.
That's it.
All right. We're leaving.
Decided.
We're leaving.
Thanks, guys.
Schaefer MVP.
Peace.